A festive day today, and welcome to A Cup with Joe.
And Dakota.
Dakota's rocking the bunny ears.
Happy Easter.
Hope you're having an amazing Easter.
Happy Easter.
Hoppy. Yeah, we have a little bit of a twist here just for this week.
We don't know how to count.
Yep. So typically we get like 4 bags of beans ready for the next month, and March had 5 weeks.
Somehow we both missed that, Joe. So what do we do?
So I went to Shields here in Utah, and I went with a local brew.
Local.
Little
BRCC here.
It's a little Black Rifle Coffee Roasters or Company, excuse me. There's no R at the end. So this is the 5 alarm, right?
Yes, sir. 5 alarm.
And so we're going with them today. It should have been California. I apologize. But for shipping and preparation, I wanted to make sure we at least had something. And then actually, this is my first time trying Black Rifle coffee.
You know, mine too, Joe.
I mean, you hear about them in social media and everything, and they have a building just
up to somehow
about 8 miles away or whatever it is from here. So, but never tried it before. So, yeah, I'm not sure if we picked the right one or the wrong one. I think we're somewhere in the middle. Somewhere in the middle. Give us your take.
It's cool. It's veteran owned, so that part's always cool. But my personal opinion is it's glorified Folgers. Like it's not. Now, Evan, don't kill me. I know. I've watched videos on you. You take coffee. You are one of those people that take it to a whole new level. I respect what you've done. My personal opinion, I'm gonna drink it. It's great, in the sense of it's gonna get the job done. I want to wake up. If I was waking up at random hours of the morning, going out having to do something, I would grab this cup. It's nice, it's hot, it's warm, it'll give you the caffeine boost, it'll give you the feel-good taste coffee's going to get for you, but it's not one you're really going to want to, at least me, I'm not going to want to sit down and sip it and enjoy it. Like, it's one that I'm going to put in my cup, go drink, on the go, I'm ready to move, let's go.
Yeah, so the flavor profiles in here are supposed to be aromas of notes, or with notes of dark chocolate, molasses, and cherry. The smokiness, I get that. The smokiness, I don't think that's a problem.
I get the chocolate a lot.
I don't get the chocolate, and I usually...
It's a very dark chocolate note, though.
Yeah, I'm usually a good receptor of that. I just don't get that.
Yeah, I know. The molasses, it...
Cherry, I don't get cherry.
Yeah, cherry, I don't... I've tried to...
So I smell the chocolate if I'm actually smelling it. So I smell the chocolate, but I don't taste the chocolate, so that's kind of weird. But...
No, I mean, it's... maybe Folgers wasn't the way to go, Joe. Like, I was trying to use terminology that I know.
Right.
And it's just a good cup of coffee to grab and go. Not... You put it in the coffee maker, let it drip while you're getting ready for work, grab it on the go, and drink it on your way to work. It's not one that you're going to sit down, sip, and enjoy, and be like, oh, that was the best cup of coffee I ever had.
Yeah, and I know you can't relate to this, but it kind of almost reminded me of, like, in our MREs back in the day when I was in the military, that they'd have, like, the instant coffees in there. I mean, this is better than that, but it reminded me of that. Like, you know, it's more of a kind of a frontline grunt, like, happy you got a hot, warm, flavored beverage that's not water kind of a thing.
Like, if I need a pre-workout in the morning to go to the gym, and I don't want to drink pre-workout, I would drink this. Sure. This is a great one for that.
Sure.
You know, I'm going to go on a hike. Camping coffee, I would say this is a great camping coffee.
It's that kind of like a rugged outdoors kind of like
you know, it
gets
in, gets the job done, and you're going to be good to
go.
Like, I feel like Black Rifle has had some controversial times, had some great things. I think they've done a lot of great things too, and like, it's cool to support a business like that. You know,
like always with all like large companies or companies that grow really quickly, they're gonna have controversy. You're gonna have control mechanisms that you're trying to keep your finger on, but everything's growing so fast. You're trying to control everything.
Nobody's perfect.
No, it's not a perfect thing, and especially when you grow quickly. It's just one of those things that comes with it.
But given that,
I mean,
they've got a good bag of coffee.
But like their approach is good and sound. I mean, when you have some high speed, like military veterans who own businesses and really take it to heart what they do to provide a product or service for people, and they really just put everything into it, you're going to get typically a pretty good product, like Kilt Beard Co. But really,
Best beard oil, butter, and balm in the game.
Comment,
like, subscribe.
but no, like it's the same approach that like many veterans who really want to give back and really just add value to whatever their other industry, and he brings his culture of the military and love for a country and to try to have the best product in the market. So gotta respect that, and they give back to first responders, military personnel, etc. like that. So that is a good cause to help change the world.
Like I said,
yeah.
Folgers is the great grab and go one, but if you want to support veterans, this one takes it to just the next level. That aspect, I would buy this. Throw it in my camping stuff and have this as a camping coffee for the summer.
Yeah, I think when we actually put the scope onto Utah, we should really look at what is their top rated one and really give an honest opinion of their top rated one is, because you're always going to have one that everybody likes, and then you're going to have the one that some people or like a niche like. So I want to know more about their brand and their brews. I was walking by this; it sounded good, and
it looks the whole bag.
Well, the packaging's awesome. It's great packaging.
That's the front, and then we got the back. Like it's super cool. You can see what it's for and who it's modeled after. For and after.
It's very clear.
Yeah, there's
what
no
they're trying
bullshit.
to do. Yeah,
it's pretty straightforward. I'd love to know where the cherry comes from.
Yeah, I don't taste any cherry.
Apparently we really need to take a tasting class, Joe, to figure out where to get our taste buds in that. But
so we should actually try to plan something like that. That would be kind of fun, actually.
If you have any suggestions, ladies and gentlemen, let us know. But and if you drink,
I was just gonna say that.
We've all drank black. Now we've all drank Black Rifle coffee. If you've had it before, you've had multiple different ones. Share it. Come on, let's hear it. Let's hear it. Comment down below.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. You beat me to it. So I was like, shoot, what is the best
quicker
one?
than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and like I said,
Young Gun, right?
It's a good cup of coffee to get and go.
Right.
You want coffee that tastes like coffee, that's gonna get the job done. It's warm. 5 Alarm by Black Rifle Coffee Company.
And the last thing here that I saw about them, they have the exclusive coffee subscription. I don't know how long it takes to, I guess it's a list that you have to wait, like a wait list for the specialty coffees. So I don't know how long it takes to actually have your name come up or whatever, but that'd be something to look into too. Maybe it's something you have to put your name on the list, and it takes a month, and then just come and have one exclusive day of that or something like that. So that'd be cool. But
yeah. Shout out to Black Rifle Coffee for all the great things they're doing, and the good coffee they've got. At least, like I said, I don't think we chose the correct one to be the first one to introduce ourselves to it. But
yeah,
for what it is, it's a good cup of Joe.
Yeah. You want to grab the tin back there behind you that used to have the candies in there? Oh, there's a new candy in there.
There's new candy in the fudge jar.
Yeah.
Oh boy. What do we got, ladies and gentlemen? Oh God, you really put that bitch on there. Ah. Oh. I think we're trying some new chocolates here today, ladies and gentlemen. A little Jack Daniel's Tennessee whiskey chocolate, to be more exact.
Yeah.
Well, here, Joe, do the honors. I'll let you bust into this.
Yeah. So I'm a fan of chocolate, and then when you have infused chocolate with like whiskeys, bourbons, etc.,
you can't go wrong with that, right? And coffee,
right? So if you haven't found the chocolate like I have in this, I'm definitely gonna find the chocolate.
Are you gonna find the chocolate now? That's not gonna hurt you, Joe.
Yeah. So I got this at Total Wine. A Durner anniversary up in. You want to break it in half, please?
I could probably do that. I mean, you don't want me to do the whole thing?
Well, there's another half here. You could if you want to. So they actually have like a bite into it, just like a cup of like stuff in there.
So here we go. Cheers.
What is the liquor in it? Isn't that crazy? It's like they actually infuse it with like a dash of actual Jack Daniels in there.
Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey Syrup Center.
Oh, syrup center.
So there's no alcohol involved in this.
Hey, I taste the chocolate now.
That was a fun little treat. Thanks for that, Joe.
Yeah, man. Whoops, I hit the microphone. So, anyways,
That takes that to a different level.
right?
I really taste the molasses in there now.
It kind of brings it out. Maybe we should write about, hey, we need to serve some Jack Daniel's chocolate
I'm
for this.
still missing the cherry. Still
Yeah.
missing the.
But-
Maybe I just don't have the palate for cherry. I don't. Anyway, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Joe, you put a article on the docket here that kind of blew my mind here. You want to lead us off here?
So on Monday, just for everybody to know, I was doing my articles and researching, and I put down the longest bridges in the world. As many may know, there was a tragedy in Baltimore there about that bridge. This was way before that, and I just thought it was cool because we talk about like the tallest mountains, which is going to be Mount Everest, and we talk about waterfalls, which is going to be the deepest one is going to be the Mariana Trench, and and I thought, hey, the longest bridges in the world, that's a cool one to talk about because honestly, I don't think I've been on any of these or I've never seen any of these in real life, and these things are massive, dude.
They are not for the faint of heart.
And so the majority of these, so they were talking about the top 10. 6 are in China, and they're they call it like the China Kingdom or something like that. The Middle Kingdom, excuse me. And then 2 are in the States and 2 are in Thailand. But yeah, so the one metro bridge in China, for instance, is 3,000. Wait,
Joe's struggling here, ladies and gentlemen.
no, they combined the. Shut up.
Anyway, the Metro Bridge in China is 28.48 miles long. That's a hell of a bridge, Joe. But bridge, it's like an have you ever been? You've been to New York, yes?
Nope.
You've seen any elevated subway system?
Nope.
If you've ever seen an elevated subway system, ladies and gentlemen, that's what this bridge is.
Oh, okay.
So it's a bridge, yes, but it's going along with the road system. It's going to be. I don't know. I view a bridge as getting you across something. This is just elevating to go with the flow of traffic. It's cool, but we got some other really cool bridges on this one.
Well, the only thing that comes close is that little Amtrak thing in Las Vegas. That's not.
It's still the same concept though, because it's elevated. It's
right.
Right.
But this thing
There's
is like
a train
super
on
long,
it.
though.
It is super long, but again, to consider this a bridge, it's cool, but I don't know. I view a bridge from getting you from one point to the other that you got to span over something. This is just going along with the road. My personal opinion. Super cool, but this next one though, Joe. This one's cool.
Oh, the Causeway, right?
Causeway.
So have you ever been on the Causeway?
You know, Joe, we were talking about this before the video,
Mm-hmm.
and I may have, but
It's kind of hard to miss.
when-
It's like
when-
20.
when you're in
20.
Louisiana, at least with me, New Orleans, fun fact, where I got these cute little bunny ears. It's a whole nother story that we might get into today. I went there. Me and my wife went on a plantation tour.
Okay.
I think we may have went on this, Cassie. If you're watching this, come on, let me know if I'm right. But yeah, I remember at one point though just being asleep and waking up, and then our tour guide saying something about Pontchartrain, and then I went right back to sleep. So I may have been on it. I may not have been on it. I don't know. Super cool though. This one is clear. It's in New Orleans for those of you, or not New Orleans. It's in Louisiana for those of you that don't know. It goes across Lake Pontchartrain. And this one spans 23.87 miles and was completed in 1969.
So yeah, so we've had some good technology / engineering for a while now.
Yeah, but again, that one I view as a bridge because it goes from one end of something to another and goes across.
So it's connecting 2 pieces of land.
Yeah, you got to go over. So you got to get over something that you normally couldn't drive over, right? Like
Right.
I view that as a bridge. This next one, again, on the questionable side.
But this one's really cool though because it's a double bridge, or so the Bang Na Expressway in Thailand, also known as the why do I call these words, dude? Brotha with he Expressway.
I don't know why you do that to yourself, Joe.
Well, and like it's like anyway. So So it's the longest bridge in the world at 33.5 miles long.
Yeah, good lord.
So it held this record for 8 years
Mm.
until it's just been broke like four other times, five other times since then, since 2000. This bridge costs $1 billion to build,
Holy sh!
and it's a double 6-lane highway. So you got one on top, one on the bottom. So that aspect is cool. I love to take like a supercar and just or a bike and just go.
You know, it's funny that we both had the same thought on that one.
Like Gran Turismo style.
But back to my part of a bridge.
Connecting, yeah.
Bridge here.
This is more of
This
a freeway.
specifically states that it does not cover. It does not cover any body of water.
But this is more like a super freeway. It's what you would want.
Correct, and like in the sense of it covering something because it goes over the expressway, freeway. I would, yeah. I mean, cool concept, but again, bridge,
Right.
stretch in my opinion. Still super cool though.
I think we should like look what is the definition of bridge. What is the definition of
Should I
bridge?
bust out the
Yeah,
old
do it.
iPhone here?
Because
let's see here.
Because Webster knows best.
Webster sometimes knows best. So we add random things in there. Why don't you tell me about the next bridge while I'm looking this up, Joe?
So it's the Kanjid Grand Bridge in China. So this said railway runs 819 miles, hence the need to use like many popularity of bridge use. So this is 72 miles long. So it's connecting two bodies over this, or two pieces of land over this body of water. It's huge, dude. It's like super huge. It does look like when I'm looking at the picture here that it doesn't get much water. It's kind of like very low hanging water, like swamp water, but over a long, like distance. But for 72 miles, that's crazy.
Holy sh!
Yeah. It's got 392 piers.
Yeah, so yeah, the picture it looks like it's like super low lying water, like you said. It's like a marshy land that you really
Right.
couldn't build on.
Right.
So you just stuck a bunch of piers and
Just like that.
yeah. So back to good old Webster.
Uh-huh.
There's two definitions.
Oh, no.
So depending on the definition you read is how we can do this. So the first one is a structure carrying a road, path, railroad, or canal across a river, ravine, road, railroad, or other obstacle, a bridge across a river. All right. Then second definition is the elevated enclosed platform on a ship from which the captain or officer directs operations. Right. So we're definitely looking first definition here.
Right.
I mean, I guess going over a railroad or a road is still considered a bridge. So
That's good to know.
I'm wrong. I'll say that much.
Yeah, you are.
Easy, easy.
So-
Monaco is toss point.
So the largest bridge in the world currently.
I know.
Bridge in the world currently.
I know. And thank God there's really no argument to this because both of us can agree that it's over water.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, from point A to point B across the water.
Mm-hmm.
So, no argument there. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, what is this bridge's name, Joe?
It's the Danyang Kunshan Grand Bridge.
Why do you do that? Anyway, this thing is a whopping
Whopping.
102.4 miles long. Holy shit.
Like if you're driving this thing, like if I'm driving on this thing 102 miles, 102.4 miles, I'm thinking in my head, if something happens, there's nothing I can
Oh,
do.
you fucked. This good luck.
There's no one to run and there's nowhere to hide. I'm not
There's-
swimming back home
no,
to land or
No,
anything. I
it
mean,
came with a price tag of a whopping 8.5 billion.
yeah, that's expensive.
Billion.
Yeah, that's
It's with a B.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Holy shit.
Bridge was-
Preparing for that.
Well, for the $8.5 billion, they really put.
Yeah,
It
it
seems like
looks
this
like
is in an
they-
extreme part of
Yeah.
the country or the world right there, where they needed all these extra engineering marvels to happen to make this thing work. So yeah, so
It's,
so those are some of the largest bridges in the world.
Wow.
102.4 miles. I wonder how long that would have taken to build, though. It doesn't say it on here. But
I want to know, like, what's the speed limit? How long does it take to cross this bridge?
I,
I would assume like an hour at least.
I wonder if you have to stagger cars, or can as many cars go over as at one time as
like,
what?
how many
Right.
cars can go? Yeah, definitely interesting. Crazy. Whew, I need to.
So baristas. I mean, you are a pretty good barista. I'd buy a coffee for something like this. It'd put a smile on my face.
I mean, that's what I'm here for.
So baristas are very noticeable in the coffee industry. They're the face, basically, of a company's brand, and you're basically your experience of purchasing a cup of Joe, not coming out of the bag like we have right here. And it's kind of evolving to more of an expertise. Instead of a person just serving you coffee and smiling at you and taking your money, they're expected to have a lot more of a role as a like an expert in coffee.
It makes sense, Joe.
So it's not just that person like, hey, give me my coffee. You want that person to be able to know the type of blends, the roast, the origin.
Yeah,
you know,
with the popularity of coffee, clearly with us being able to even do this,
right?
I feel that it's becoming a lot more common for people to be a little more knowledgeable on their coffee, where it comes from, how it's sourced, that kind of thing, and then also how it's being made.
Right.
Like, are we singeing the ever living crap out of the coffee ground or coffee bean once we get it with the water? Are we like slowly brewing this over a long period of time?
Yep.
Like, how are we getting the bean juice out of the beans?
Right. So another aspect of this, and I've seen it on TikTok or something like that. So there's been two different instances in different countries. I think one was in Russia, one was in, I'd like to say India or Turkey, something like that. That they were going into like a Starbucks in those places, and the same cup of coffee that costs here $5, and let's just sit around up to $6.
Okay.
There is like $1.50 US. So cost of living and everything is different there, obviously. But that being said, the price of a coffee cup here may be a little high, and I think, in my opinion, where this article is going to, that these baristas need to be your new face experts, and that potentially what you're charging for the cup here in the States should ultimately be going more towards the baristas that create a more of a career field, or like a stable career field, a respectable career field.
Yeah.
And the I think there should be a little bit of a look or examination of that, because these people have jobs. If you want them to be experts, if you want them to bring value to people, I think that they need to be paid accordingly.
Yeah.
And not going down to the paid gaps and everything, but if you're overcharging for a cup of coffee, then you should be paying these people and teaching these people, giving them classes to be experts.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense due to the fact that, like, I mean, that's a pretty gnarly, like $4 or $5 depending on the cup for the same cup.
Right.
Like, at least if you're doing that, you might as well get the expertise of a professional that's giving you the cup of coffee, that knows what they're doing, that has some sort of idea, that's not just kind of shooting from the hip, and has a little knowledge on what to, it's like if you go to a restaurant, you ask the waiter or waitress, like, hey, what do you recommend? You know? If they tell me they have no idea, I'm like, for what? Like, what's going on here? So, like, I would assume if it's the first time in Starbucks, you walk in, you're like, I just want a plain cup of coffee. What do you suggest? And then if they ask you, like, well, what do you enjoy? What flavors do you enjoy? And then they can help you guide that way instead of just pumping it full of whatever and here you go, type situation. So I could definitely, I would be more susceptible to buying a $5, $6 cup of coffee if it came with a little bit of knowledge behind it,
or a story, or like so many of these roasters that we've had. There's backstories of the origin and the farmers who actually produce these beans that go all the way to our cup. It's a cool story because those people, are hands in the ground, day to day. They wake up, they eat, they breathe coffee and everything, go to bed. It's all coffee.
And I mean, they really don't make it that hard to learn or
No.
find out. And so, like, if you're out there, if you're working at a coffee shop, you know what kind of coffee you guys use? Google it real quick, find out, and then provide that knowledge just a little bit more to your customers. And like I said, I would be more susceptible to buying a cup of coffee from somebody if they told me, oh, hey, actually, hey, did you know that these beans originate in here, and then they do this with their
Right.
beans that's a little different than most, and I would be like, oh, well, I'll pay $6 for a little bit extra knowledge.
Right, and that's where kind of going on where we're kind of going with this whole entire article is that the barista is changing from just the person who just serves you to the person who's going to be an expert serving you. Kind of like if you go to a restaurant, find a dining restaurant and there's wines, they'll tell you about the origination, the tannins, the year itself, the winery, etc. like that, where you get more appreciation for the story behind what you're getting and basically the service too.
Yeah,
You feel like you're getting a better.
Yeah, there's a
service.
more intimate interaction
Right.
that you can have with what you are receiving,
Right.
because now you have a little bit more of a backstory, and you can try and take that out of what you're enjoying and pinpoint that and be like, oh, that's where that came from.
And so this will create more roasters because typically when you go from a barista and you know your stuff, you go into the roasting business to basically either a roaster for a company or you start your own company as a roaster. This is going to build more of a like a chain of generational experience.
Yeah.
I can't put it in words, but you're trying to grow a brand or a company or an experience. You need to start at the roots of your baristas and then go from there in the industry there.
Because a barista's going to work the most intimately with the coffee
And the customer.
and the customer, know what the customer likes, know what the where the coffee comes from, and be able to be like, oh, this customer and this, let's put those together,
Right.
and then bam, we have coffee roasters.
Yep.
And I could see how that could be generational and go down the line, and then
Yep.
we end up with great cups of coffee.
And we've had some that we were like, okay, this is like game changing. It's super noticeable when you have that really good one, and then you hear the story about it and the love that, like the one in I think it was Oregon where they had like 5 generations from from Italy. It was you could just taste the difference.
You
It just
100% can. I couldn't I don't know about you. I can't put my finger directly on like this is the difference in taste, but I challenge everybody watching this video: go buy your store brand just coffee, and then try and get the equivalent of a smaller brew,
Right.
or
A micro
smaller
roast or
or
something?
micro roaster, and make them side by side, drink them, and you will taste a significant difference in the two coffees just because of the way they were sourced, the way they were handled. Everything that it all comes down into the cup of coffee, and you can taste the difference.
Yep. So it was a cool little perspective on the industry when it comes to coffee and when you get your cup and the expectations of both of the business owners or the management and the barista as the face of your company, how to basically elevate the experience.
Yeah.
So
if you're a barista out there, try and become a little more knowledgeable about your product. Learn where it comes from. Learn the tasting notes.
and if you have
You
any
might
more,
be able to get somebody on that. Sorry, Joe.
no. I would say if you have any more information about being a barista and what the experience is being a barista, we'd love to hear it too. So
Yeah, no, please, comment down below. Let's hear your experiences. Are you out there? You're just trying to give people their coffee and get them out, or are you trying to become
Right.
more knowledgeable, become what it seems like the industry is moving toward? Are you trying to become that coffee savant per se? It smells like candy, Joe. What do you got there, Joe?
peeps. So my kiddos wanted me to make sure I put these in the video so they can look at it. So we're just chilling with our peeps right now,
Just chilling. Just chilling. Happy Easter, everybody. Again.
and these things smell like peeps, by the way, which is crazy.
So, Joe,
Yeah.
why the Easter Bunny? Where did that come from, Joe?
So Easter Bunny is a combination of
We'll just let these guys ride, huh? Hopefully.
balance, Jenga. I'm gonna put the other one down here. I'm not gonna try 2 up there.
What? Come on, let's make it happen, Joe.
House of Cards is about to fall down.
Yeah, not a chance in hell. I'm not putting that guy up there, though. We're gonna go right there. Ha ha! Anyway, we got the festive now. Anyway.
So Easter is a kind of a mesh of pagan and Christianity,
Okay.
all into one.
Just a
Yep.
mashup of sorts.
Yeah, It's basically mashed up into one kind of. Since prehistoric times, people have celebrated the equinox.
Okay.
So we were more on the astrology, celestial side of things in the world, and the solstice as as sacred time. So basically, they knew when spring is coming and when things are going to be more fertile and everything like that.
Woo!
So yeah, so fertility is basically the theme here when it comes to Easter in general. At the very basis of things, it's when we're coming out of
I'm connecting where the
winter.
rabbit came from, but we're just gonna keep this G-rated.
Chicken and the egg. Then we go to. Yeah, so the spring equinox. So I didn't know until just the other day.
Life comes at you fast, Joe.
It does come at you fast. So I always thought Easter was the first Sunday of the month of April,
No, sir.
and I was wrong.
Way to admit it, Joe.
It's the Sunday after the first equinox, full moon,
First Sunday.
or the Sunday after the equinox. So whatever, which should be the first Sunday after the equinox.
Yeah.
Anyways, which is today, and we're still in March. Last year it was what?
It was
sometime in April.
April 9th.
And why was that significant?
I got married the day before
So
in New Orleans.
yeah.
Fun little.
So in my head this year I was thinking of that date being Easter.
Trust me, Joe. I was just as thrown off. Joe. But anyway, back to Easter. Happy Easter again. Happy Easter, everybody. But yeah, it's Easter's taken quite the roller coaster ride of.
It's making a giant hop,
celebrations.
leap.
It's made leaps.
It's made leaps.
It's made some leaps. Oh man, just wow. What more do you got, Joe?
So like I said, they kind of so the pagan holiday was already before Christianity, and then it's kind of when two religions clashed, per se, and it was they're kind of interwoven. Like both the religions don't really, they kind of have like that like DMZ line right there, you just don't cross. But every now and then you shake hands once a day, one day out of the year. So it's kind of one of those kind of holidays where you accept it, and you go on.
Blind eye,
Right.
It happens. I see.
Yep.
I see.
So there's a defined period between March 25th and April 25th on which Easter Sunday must fall.
So it's at least it's got.
Right.
But we got.
And that's
What's that?
determined by the movement and the planets of the sun. So.
Yeah. So I mean, we can. Makes sense.
Right.
Why Easter's
Yeah, no,
moves.
Yeah, like I never really
Keeps
done-
everybody on their toes, at
Yeah.
least, you know.
What years? What day is it going to be this year?
What? Ooh, let's see what happens. Good times. Good times.
But leave it to the U.S. of A.
Right,
to kind of commercialize it.
Hey, so eggs
Uh-huh.
are a symbol of new life.
Life. So why do we decorate eggs?
Oh, let's see here. You're asking the hard questions.
I'm not sure what you
Oh, during the Middle Ages, it says.
Okay.
People began decorating eggs and eating them as a treat following Mass on Easter Sunday.
Okay.
So that's kind of cool. Why for? Okay, so it looks like the rabbit was and hares are associated with with fertility. Shocker there. And were symbols linked to the goddess. What is that? Oh man, Joe, why you gotta do me dirty?
I think the E is silent. I think the E is silent.
Ostre?
Yeah.
Ostre?
I think the first E is silent. I was waiting for you.
You ladies and gentlemen at home, it's Eostre. I'm gonna say it's Ostre just for easy sim. It sounds like Easter kinda, which really would make sense. But anyway, rabbits and hares linked to the fertility goddess Ostre.
Ostre.
And so that's kind of how we made this twist and turn and Easter Bunny. Bam! Dying eggs, that whole fun thing.
And then we had the postal cards come in about like for
USA
Hallmark and
starts
everything like that.
dipping things in there. Yeah, Joe. So random question here. Have
you-
What is the? Do you dye Easter eggs?
I used to do when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And
There is one that you have made in your lifetime that you took the crayon and colored on the egg and then dyed it.
Sure.
What's the craziest egg you've ever made?
Well, I don't.
You've never.
No, I didn't like like keep it in my brain, like, hey, this is the craziest egg I've ever done. But I'm sure you've got
I
one.
mean, apparently I'm just unique here. I remember when I was little, right? Everybody, I would assume you did the crayon thing, right? Where you
Yes.
took the crayon and dipped it in the
Yep.
dye, and then it didn't dye where you
Right.
put the crayon, right?
Right.
The wax. All that
No,
fun
no,
jazz.
no. I've done that part. I've done that
I
part.
just want to make sure we were on the same level here. You at home, please tell me you've done it. You take the egg, you color on with the crayon, but you don't really know if it's gonna work or not. Well, there was one time
At band camp.
I did like a camouflage
Mm-hmm.
deal, right? And that egg came out perfect, and I was so excited. I was probably 8 or 9, and that egg was like the pinnacle. Like I had done it. Anyway, it's just a fun little story. I know, sorry.
We appreciate your
I enjoy my childhood. Apparently,
Well,
still close enough that I can remember it. You old people, I understand. Anyway,
but you enjoy your eggs. Hey, that's good, dude.
I enjoy doing some Easter eggs. That's for sure. At least used to.
So, yeah. So, Easter, happy Easter. So what kind of traditions do you do during Easter? I know we do like an egg hunt out here. The kids love it. We also will dye eggs. Sometimes it just depends if the kids want to or not. Because honestly,
Yeah.
because you still gotta crack them all open and then you go through all the work of it, and
Yeah.
you don't actually even get to eat the shells even. It's just,
Yeah, it's a lot of work for a little reward, but
but
fun. while you're
But
doing
when you have the perfect one,
it. You remember for the rest of your life. I was very proud of that egg.
if I could put it like a little bloop, 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 bloop here and just have like an egg just chilling
I
here.
wish I had a picture of it. I bet my mom does somewhere. Anyway, Joe,
That's me. What's up?
only you can prevent forest fires.
I think we all got to play our part in this.
I think we should.
Okay. So,
So, when you really are feeling like you want to prevent forest fires, who's the one person you're going to ask how to prevent forest fires, Joe?
Smokey.
Smokey the Bear?
Smokey.
Where are you going to send him a letter to?
Well, it depends if that zip code exists or not.
It does.
Okay.
Smokey the Bear does have his own zip code.
So he's a pretty popular dude.
He's pretty happening. He's made a resurgence
Okay.
of sorts. Yeah, he has his own zip code, as I stated. Do you know where it's at, Joe?
So, yes, I do because we talked about it, but
Before we started talking about it before the video here.
I forgot where it was. But since we talked about it, it's in Washington D.C.
It is. And I had no idea this even existed, as we spoke about earlier before the video. Joe's childhood was a little before mine, and I knew about Smokey the Bear, only you can prevent forest fires for everybody at home. But other than that, that was kind of like cut and dry, all I got. But Smokey the Bear has been around for a while.
Yeah.
And back
Uh-huh.
in like I want to say the 70s here? 60s?
60s.
60s. There was so many people that were writing Smokey the Bear and had nowhere to send these letters to. They finally created his own zip code.
Cool.
And Smokey the Bear campaign, whatever we want to call it here,
It's a campaign.
started in 1944.
Okay.
Right? But then, let's see here, in 1950, so we're, what are we, 6 years?
Six
6
years.
years in New Mexico, they rescued a little black bear
Okay.
from a forest fire in New Mexico.
Okay.
What do you do with a rescued black bear from New Mexico? From a forest fire?
You glorify it.
You ship him off to Washington, D.C. to be nowhere near anything he knows, put him in a zoo, and you name him Smokey the Bear. So, while he's in Washington, D.C., people want to send him letters, honey, whatever else you send a Smokey the Bear.
That's a highlight right there.
And the U.S. Postal Service went, all right, okay, here's your own zip code, Smokey. You're going to get endless packages. And for all of you wondering what this zip code is, it is 20252.
20252.
Yep.
Nice.
And unfortunately, as trends happen, they discontinued it. Then they brought it back
It's crazy.
in 2007
It's crazy how you just can
to 2014.
give and take a zip code.
Then they took it away again. But then they brought it back again. They brought it back for the 70th anniversary. And, yeah, So you can still write Smokey the Bear. You can still send Smokey the Bear stuff. I've never been to the DC Zoo, so I couldn't tell you if they still have a Smokey the Bear.
So that's what I believe I have been, but I never paid
But
attention.
I do believe a bear's life cycle doesn't last
Not
that
long.
incredibly long. So
No.
I would assume that you're not seeing the original Smokey the Bear, but
No.
you can still send him letters. You can still send him honey.
Yeah, and I was telling you before this. So when I was a kid, they would talk about it in class.
Mm-hmm.
You would actually even like draw pictures or color pictures. I think we actually even sent a letter to Smokey the Bear.
Look at that.
Um,
Little Joe was already writing that zip code on. I
well,
didn't even know.
Well, I grew up in the Midwest,
Yep,
so there's a lot
you
of
did.
forest up there. So forest fires was more of a thing. It seems like forest fires now are more of a California thing, but really they were always talking about it in the Midwest. Wherever you go in the Midwest, Wisconsin, Minnesota, there's always a sign that says what the fire level danger is.
They do that here too.
Well, they do it here, but I mean, you see it even more so
Okay,
there.
I see.
And they would have cartoons. They'd have commercials all the time. I probably would see at least one commercial of Smokey the Bear from spring until fall, at least twice a week.
Really? Okay.
So it was quite more.
I mean,
prominent.
the reason that they finally created this is because there was up to 13,000 letters a day
Right.
getting sent
That's
to
awesome.
Smokey the Bear.
That's awesome.
That's
awesome.
he was a popular dude.
Yeah.
Clearly, he's had a popularity resurgence. But yeah,
Hey, stop staring at me, dude. Yeah, I can feel it. So in case you didn't know, humans can tell when someone is watching them.
terrifying.
Yep.
Absolute terrifying. You're sitting in a room you think you're alone in, and you turn around and there's somebody.
Like Dakota. During Easter.
With funny ears
The bunny ears, that's scary as hell, dude.
and a mustache. and a mustache. Oh man.
So I like horror movies, but, what's your take on this? I don't know. It's kind of a superpower, sort of.
I mean, the one thing that we've kept through how many generations of just what?
Mm-hmm.
We kept the one that if something's staring at us, we can sense it.
Right.
Like, what? It's insane. Like, I know personally, like, if somebody's standing behind me,
Mm-hmm.
it makes me uncomfortable, it makes me antsy. I want to get up and move or ask the person politely to get out from behind me.
Right.
I just do not like it. And, yeah, no, so I saw this and was like, holy cow, it came from other being? Like, what? Like, it just has been passed on, and it's a evolution
Mm-hmm.
thing. Like, we've kept that for whatever reason.
Yeah, this gaze detection is, which is amplified in, like, horror movies. Because I like horror movies,
Oh,
right?
yeah, I mean,
Right, I got a whole bunch of Funko Pops, and I literally will make a marathon during Halloween of watching all the spooky, terrifying movies.
Joe's house is always covered with Halloween.
Yep, Halloween is a thing here.
It definitely is.
But yeah, no, it's even like when you. So a quick story. So when I lived in Wisconsin, my dad owned a bar, and my sister and I would go down there to scoop ice because we had one of those like those hefty, a big garbage can. Well, you get those big big garbage cans, and you fill that thing full of ice.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, it only had. So the stairs were wood. So each step is.
That's terrifying already.
And it has one light bulb just hanging. And on top of all that, it's the only light. You can't just flip a switch and go down there. So you have to go down to dark with a little flashlight to find the light. And in this basement, you hear drips, just like in the movies. And you find the light bulb, and you got like one, like your sibling,
Did
like
it ever cross your mind that maybe your dad was sending you down to get ice? Because he had no desire to go down there.
I didn't think about it, but I wouldn't. Yeah, I would be like, yeah. But as far
Good
as you
on
could,
your dad.
but
Good
as
on
far
your
as you
dad.
could see, the light would shine like like the spherical cat. Come on, Marshmallow, dude.
We're getting harassed by Joe's pet kitty. Little Marshmallow here. Anyway,
But
she might make a cameo.
you had this like dome of light around you and the ice bucket or the ice maker,
Black. Oh,
and black all around you.
no.
And you're hearing drips and everything, and then you hear little cricks in the
Yeah.
bar. And this thing is long, so it's not wide. It's a long bar, so it's probably a good 100 feet deep.
Did you ever once feel like something was staring at you?
Every time. Every time. You would have one looking out for the other one while the other one scoops really fast, and then you both would grab it and run
Run
up
as
the stairs.
fast as you can. Did
Like
you
I
ever
s-
trip up the stairs?
I don't remember, but
Well, you had to turn off the light, though, so it doesn't go pitch black.
no, it's even worse than that.
Oh,
you
no.
get upstairs, you forgot to turn off the light.
Oh, shit.
So it's like you're doing a rock, paper, scissors. Who's going to go down and turn off the light?
I mean,
Yeah. Anyways, so that's one story that I just wanted
yeah,
to share.
the gazing, though, I mean.
It's a little off this topic, but we always felt like something was watching us or
Yeah,
staring at
no,
us the whole time.
it's a fun fact, though. But yeah, no, we, through evolution,
Uh-huh.
humans have kept that sixth sense, you could say, of
Right.
feeling, being able to feel something staring at them.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't necessarily, I guess, need to be another human, but animal. I know there's been times when I've been camping that it's like I go out and wander and feel like something's watching me, and I'm
Right.
like, maybe I should wander on back to camp,
Or, hey, let's make this fire just a little bit bigger.
Right, yeah.
You know?
And I would hypothesize on this that is the reason we've kept it, because we still, select number of us like to go camping, still like to go out in the wilderness and really go back to our roots. And it would make sense on why we have kept that instead of
Right.
letting that fall to the wayside. I would be interested to know if people that are generational, that don't go camping, that don't really
Mm-hmm.
go out, if it is lessened. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, I know what you're saying.
Like if you're like, let's say in New York City specifically,
Right.
you're not going out a lot, you're not going camping, but then on the flip side, do you have it heightened because you're around so many people all the time? Hey, why is that person staring at me? Type situation. So
Right.
I mean, it would be interesting to do a
Experiment.
experiment on that.
Yeah.
Let us know. Do you have this heightened? Do you have it less? Do you know people that have it severely? Do you know people that don't have it at all?
Right.
Like, let us know.
Yeah, I think that it's a good one to have
Mm-hmm.
because it's gonna like help you from like potential dangers,
Yeah.
even human dangers. Because like I mean, most people are good, but there's those selective few that are not. So or predators are not. You know.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a cool one,
Mm-hmm.
just to bring to light that
Just a little different.
a little different. And I'd like to hear some stories if you've you know if this has actually helped you or saved your life either in a camping scene or in real life in like a city or something like that. I'd love to hear that story because that is just one of those.
I mean, do you have a funny story
detections.
like this guy here? You had to go down in the dark,
Oh,
scary
dude.
basement.
Years
Forgot to turn off the light.
for years we did that.
Oh,
For years we did
That
that.
is.
Every time you're
I'm
looking
thinking.
like,
I'm thinking your dad did it to you guys because he didn't want to do that shit. I'm calling it now.
but yeah, it was a good one.
So we couldn't end the video without doing something involving space.
Yep.
Something involving space.
Yep.
Back a couple days ago,
Okay.
28th of March,
Sure.
there was an X-class solar flare.
So the X-Men do exist.
Sure.
Huh?
So the X-class is the strongest of the solar flares.
Oh, so
And this guy, back on the 28th, when it erupted,
Mm-hmm.
you could say, when it hit the Earth's atmosphere, it ionized it.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we were cooking.
We were cooking. We were cooking. So NASA in one of their telescopes was when they were looking at it, saw this solar flare happen on the lower part of the sun. I was going to say moon, and that was wrong, very wrong. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. But it peaked at apparently 4:56 p.m. and was categorized as a X1.1 flare. And as I had said, the X class is the most powerful of all the solar explosions on the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, the one particularly ionized the atmosphere, or the outer atmosphere. But then there's it's always solar flare is always accompanied by a belch of plasma known as a coronal mass ejection.
CME.
CME. So coronal mass ejection. CME is what I'm going to refer to that the rest of the video.
Sneak.
And So that's where they get you. The solar flare, the CME is really what gets you. That's the part that starts messing with all the magnetic.
Fields?
Magnetic fields. Thank you, Joe. Magnetic fields in the Earth and can actually take out radio signals. So the one on the 28th was actually they were very worried about it hitting the Earth because it was gonna do some shit. Because a couple days prior to that, on the 25th,
Okay.
there was one that was around the same size solar flare, and it had the same CME that went out. That one actually hit Earth around the Pacific, and actually blew out radio signals over the Pacific Ocean. Which would kind of, when I read that, I was like, Bermuda Triangle, not in the Pacific, in the Atlantic. But is that what's going on? Is that why all of a sudden things disappear in the Bermuda Triangle? Because solar flare happens, CME, no radio signal for a minute, I don't know, a minute, hours. It did not specify. Is that what happens?
I do know that the sun goes through its like through cycles, and it looks like so this is part of the cycle, and this is when you get these X-class flares. I do know in the past that it has disrupted the communications to a certain extent. Now, if they're like, I don't know what the I think what's it called? Shoot, it's like the biggest one that could happen, or that they think that could happen, which could just totally just be cataclysmic. But yeah, they are worried about when they potentially just knocking out every satellite around Earth, and all of a sudden all your cell phones and all these things are gone. Your GPS is gone. A lot of the computers.
Suns.
Yeah.
Yep. So it does say here that usually X-class flares are most common in the solar maximum, which is like the height period of the sun has an 11-year cycle,
right?
Which is very interesting, solar cycle. And like I said, X-class flares are more common in the solar maximum, which is the part of the 11-year cycle when it's more prominent. We've had
more active.
Yeah, more active. There has been 6 this year. Wow. Seven this year, including the one that just happened. Last year, for instance, Joe, there was 11 that happened. So we're
it's
3 months into the year, and we've already had 7.
Yeah, it's ramping up.
It's sun is pissed off at us, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, so some crazy stuff. A little different on our space exploration.
Yeah, lots of sunscreen.
Yeah, wear your sunscreen this summer.
I don't think sunscreen's going to fix that.
Don't get burned, but hey, maybe it might help out.
If you can see the magnetic field,
I mean,
yeah,
it ionized the atmosphere. That's pretty crazy. And then knocked out radio signals. Like, these things are no joke.
No, they're not.
They don't mess around. And for the most part, invisible. To us.
Well, yeah.
To us. So like, you don't know when this shit happens. I didn't know this shit happened.
And
so crazy to think about.
And I hate to be. I think I'm right on this. You know how you see the aurora borealis or the northern lights?
Yep.
It's basically how sun or solar flares or whatnot hit the atmosphere like that, and you see all those wavy colors. So that's kind of, I'm pretty sure that's what that phenomenon is. But anyways, if we ever get a flare large enough to break through that, that's a no bueno, dude. That's not going to be a good thing.
So a little shameless plug here, Joe.
Okay.
It is spring. We are. Well, technically, we're almost to spring, right?
No, we are in spring.
We are in spring, ladies and gentlemen. This is happening. We may or may not know some people that happen to participate with the beard oil company, Kilt Beard Co, best beard oil you can get in the game.
Yep.
Us, him, me, happen to have the Spring Awakening part of the Heritage Collection. And Joe, you want to take us away on this?
Yeah, so
tell us a little more.
So I put this in my beard today. It smells amazing. I don't know about you, but when you wake up and it's spring and you get that fresh rain outside, you usually smell flowers and everything like that. This is going off what the smell of spring in Scotland. So we're going to save you a plane ticket, and for $16, you can get the smell of Scotland in a bottle.
Bam!
On your beard. It smells amazing, and your significant other is going to like it too.
Just
and it's super moisturizing, and it's just one of those unique scents that you don't get. from many companies, and it's very fresh. Like for me, I smell lilac. You smell what?
I smell dandelions.
So basically, it's got heather oil as the flower, and since I've never smelled heather in my life, as far as the flower,
Yeah, nor have I.
your nose kind of just goes back to whatever the flower that you like, and it's a really welcoming scent coming out of winter where everything is dead. You don't have all those glorious smells of the woods and everything and the flowers.
We've asked numerous people,
Yeah.
and everybody thinks it smells like a specific flower. They're all different,
Right.
and it's just a nice spring smell. So
Yep.
if you're wanting to get a significant other, you're looking to get this for yourself, comment, like, subscribe on our page. You know, to subscribe, go to kiltbeardco.com, subscribe to our newsletter. There's some bonus added at the end there for your time to read our awesome time. You know, we've invested some time into trying to get you guys a little more information about the beard oil side of the world, and we try and reward you for your time.
And also on top of that, so if you sign up for the newsletter today, there is a promo that's going on for just the Heritage Collection. So check that out. That'll end today. Just is what it is. Yeah.
There'll be more to come.
Yeah,
We're not going to stop today.
No, this is just a good one to celebrate. Like I said, the Heritage line, Scottish Heritage, American Heritage, and this one in particular is Spring Awakening, and it's just one of those
It's a great one.
really good scents that picks you up a little, it lifts you up out of winter, and it gets you basically moving into spring. So.
Yep. So, got any more things to say, Joe?
Have a wonderful Easter from Joseph in Dakota.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Cheers, everybody.
Beep. Beep. Cool. So I'll do some highlights here. So I put this a Spring Awakening in today. Dude, it just smells so good like spring, dude.
Smells like dandelions, but yeah, no, it fucking works today.
It does. It's raining outside.
No,
It smells
so
good.
So, happy Easter, Joe.
Happy Easter, man.
You know Smokey the Bear has his own zip code?
Well, huh?
Smokey the Bear has his own zip code?
I do.
Do you know where it's at, though? This one's the one that threw me for a loop.
I used to know where it's at. I don't know where it's at.
It's in Washington, D.C.
Is it Washington, D.C.?
Yeah.
Huh.
What the fuck, man? I read that and was like, huh.
Yeah, no, I heard that one many years ago, but that's just one of those randomness.
Yeah, no. There was a big enough one that it triggered a radial blackout over the Pacific Ocean.
I mean, that's almost that's something that we can't predict and do. Hey, so on Netflix, there's this show now. It's called
Shogun. I've been wanting to watch it.
That's called Three Body something. Three Body something.
Okay.
Three Body. Anyways, really good.
Yeah.
It deals with science, aliens, and God.
Oh no shit. So see, there's another show I believe on Hulu or no, it was Netflix. It was called Bodies. Same concept though. Like, no alien. No aliens. Awesome. Highly recommend. It's great.
Bodies.
Yeah.
Bodies.
It has 3 different timelines, and you're like watching it, going, "How in the fuck?" And then towards the end, they start like tying everything together.
Right.
But I don't know the way it's good though. I would recommend. It's not like. Do you ever watch Westworld?
I did. I watched all those. I thought those were awesome.
So I don't know how did you stick with it.
Oh, I thought it was awesome. Like,
I did too, but
Like-
like at a certain point, I couldn't follow anymore.
well, if you look at it, hindsight, it's kind of like the evolution of a machine that we thought we can control, kind of like the Terminator kind of a thing,
Yeah.
but not as is.
Oh yeah, no.
Well, actually, it is kind of as destructive, just in a different way of not like having full on wars.
My thing was I was watching it, but I was watching it so like intently and like so like invested that like I would go to sleep and I couldn't sleep because I was thinking about it and like oh, and then I'd dream about it and then I'd wake up and the cycle would start all and it was great. It was a great show. But I only watched like the first like 3 seasons.
I watched them all. I thought.
And then I was like, I gotta, whoo.
So Easter Bunny.
Yeah, the Easter Bunny.
I thought
Probably has.
I thought we had to add this one in there for sure. Of course, the U.S. kind of commercialized it.
Yeah. No, you don't.
So I thought that it was always on the first Sunday of the month of April, but it's not. It's the Sunday after the equinox,
Yeah.
full moon.
Yeah, that's how
So,
it changes.
so it can go March, and it can even go deep into April sometimes. It just depends on the moon. I was like, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I knew it was something to do with something that changed yearly. I just what I did not know. I knew it was some. It always is like the fourth Easter or fourth Sunday from something, but that something
Right.
always moving. Apparently, it's the equal.
So next week is your anniversary, right?
Correct.
So Heather did this on the press. We do have some on the drip too.
Thank God. Wow, let there be light.
You are glowing, dude.
Nope, that didn't work.
You were glowing, dude.
I know. I was like, wow, Jesus. Yep. Gets the job done.
Just like a firefighter, get the job done.
So are we just gonna be like, sorry, we fucked up?
Oh, no.
There's 5 Sundays in March this year.
Yeah, I was just gonna be like, hey, we fucked up, and or I did, whatever. Anyways,
Should have said something. I could have got some coffee Cassie brews. I'm not gonna say the name because I don't want to like.
well,
But not that. That
Huh?
one's way better.
oh, this one's better.
No,
Oh.
no. The one Cassie drinks
Oh.
is way better.
From Jet Morning.
Man, I was trying not to say names, but yes. Yeah. That one's, I would say, my favorite. With the exception of that, like, dessert one we've had. A mature adult for that shit. Oh, I would say some other things, but we're on camera and gonna go out to the public, so I don't want to say usually what happens. Are you gonna get this first try, Joe?
I hope so, man.
Oh my God, you want to take bets? You want to take bets? You're gonna power through if we bet on.
Got this.
Are we gonna top off before we?
We should probably
We should do it.
get all the cotton mouth at the very end. I guess we got some accessories now.
Hey, are you gonna keep them like that?
Yeah,
You gonna bust them out later?
yeah. Bust them out when we start talking about the Easter thing. Or, what do you have another idea?
No, I was just gonna put them there, but I like your idea better.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep my bunny ears on though. I'm festive with my black shirt.
Hey, Cookie Bear.
My hat's pretty festive though. My bunny ears.
Ready?
Are you is a real question.
ready.
Though. So what's the lie?
I'm ready.
What's the lie, Joe?
I'm ready.
What's the lie, Joe?
I'm ready.